Well, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back. George Morgan here at your service. It's PSGL, it's Wednesday night, it's Spain tonight as well. Lots on the table, lots of battling. The title contest is still alive and kicking. And Jack, it's only taken us 10 rounds. We're on the 11th. It's all to play for.
Boromant goes on the inside and takes the lead on the final lap of the race. Now it's side by side between Boromant and Bonnar, but Boromant's got the inside.
A guest star here in this phenomenal race. Cameron Dowd looking to take P2 in his very first PSGL F1 PC race. Incredible to say the least. You see that Putin to lead. 1.5 seconds. DRS is the name.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a. What? Who's interrupted me? Is that the Frozen Fedora man? Of course. One and only Deathlink 10. Alex Herod here with me for a bit of PSGL action, and today we have a penultimate round of a season around Silverstone. Classic, historic track. It's just through and through British motorsport, and I, for one, love the circuit. Spent way too long in it for my own liking. And, yeah, so what are your opinions on it, Alex? Because I know yours is, slightly altered from the race we commentated last season.
Yeah, well, I do like this circuit. Rain is a possibility around here, which always spices up an event. We have 20 of the finest F3 drivers for PSGL to take on the Gauntlet, which is Silverstone. 26 laps to come around Silverstone, and tyre wear is going to be essential, but also we're in qualifying, so getting a good lap is essential to begin with.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very much sort of a tough one to sort of challenge themselves and kind of get themselves established into the circuit, because it can be a very tricky one. Obviously, we've got the esport events going on at the minute as well. We've got the Daytona, especially. Some drivers might be practicing for that, as we see Timon in the chat saying boo. No, come on, show us a bit of respect. As I do believe we've got some other drivers already taking it out on the circuit.
Yes.
Ooh, I mean, braver than me to go out first round Silverstone.
Well, the track is going to be very dusty. Obviously, it is not like a street circuit. It is an actual proper built racetrack, built on a old World War II airfield. Little fact for you. Putting in a little fact for you already.
Getting the Crofty facts out already.
Yeah, get the Crofty fact out. And it's got some amazing corners around here, of course. We have probably the most famous one in recent memory, Copse Corner, which involves a certain Max Verstappen and a certain Lewis Hamilton back in 2021. And a Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton in the same race as well.
It's amazing how both drivers could go through at one point, and then neither driver could get through it properly at one point as well.
Isn't it weird?
It's almost as if Ferrari just brings another echelon of quality to a driver. But enough about that, because we do have something to talk about this week regarding one of the drivers. That'll be the Alpine, which has retired, of Lillian. Now, wrapped up the championship last week, and then over the course of a weekend, events unfolded, which obviously, if you've not seen on Twitter, cheating accusations, everything, flying all over the place. But Race Clutch did release a statement about Lillian, protecting Lillian with PSGL's verification as well. So, regardless of your opinions, we will ask everyone politely to keep it on wraps. And regardless of your opinion, just keep it to yourselves, because as far as we're concerned, stuff has been wrong before. Take Luke Smith as a great example. Everyone thought he was cheating. He wasn't. Thomas Ron Haar as well, another example.
Yeah. Ron Hart actually did a very good interview recently about...
I did see.
About cheating, which I thought was very interesting. My camera just fell off my PC, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't work today.
Exactly, just chuck it away.
Fuck it in the bin.
As we're going to have the other Alpine here, who's still partaking of a qualifying, of Rihard, who's had a busy week himself, hasn't he? Leaving Race Clutch, trying to look for greener pastures elsewhere. It'll be an interesting way to sort of see how Rihard is going to be able to handle himself now without, that necessary backing. But I can see you supporting that Red Bull helmet again. Alex, you must be getting excited.
Well, you got, I do love a Red Bull helmet, but also maybe less pressure, you might say, as well.
Absolutely.
Not having to race under the Race Clutch. outfit, of course, as we mentioned, please do keep it respectful in chat. Just want to preface more.
Especially this Lillian person. Keep it respectful. Respect yourself, Lillian.
Respect yourself.
Last of first challenge. I'm expecting it, Lillian.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, whatever you think on anything that's been said or seen, it's just your opinion on what it is, and maybe your opinion's wrong on this occasion. So
exactly, like Alex's opinion on Red Bull Racing.
Exactly. Or on DMAS's fastest lap with a 124.7, which is actually a very quick lap to begin with. Here, already into the 124s, mid 124s, you might say as well.
As JSD.
Well, doesn't
come on, man. Come on, man. Let's bring it on. Let's get the lap times flowing. I mean, we've still got Leoland as well, although, potentially... Well, I mean, out of the championship equation here.
Yes.
Still got something to prove. Still got something...
Right.
Got so close to a Ferrari 1-2 last week as well. So close. And yes, we do have the mini-map. Unlike F1, we support the mini-map lovers. And
I like the mini-map.
We're going to have a mini-map. Why wouldn't we have the mini-map? It gives everyone...
I have it when I race.
You're weird. But it gives everyone else a cheeky little bit more insight. And personally, I do love a good mini-map.
My opinion is Brewer go in circles, and I'm happy. Car is Carlo. Exactly. That is the way to think about it.
Exactly. And we got Matthew Adler here coming around the final corner at Silverstone to set a 24.7. Now, these are some good lap times already getting put up on the board here.
It's crazy how close they are as well. I know I say that every weekend. I feel like a broken record sometimes, and sound like a broken record sometimes. But I mean, we've got the top 15 separated by 0.4 of a second. Top 2 are separated by 0.005 of a second.
Oh, it's so close. I mean, we've got how many drivers here which have had busy weeks? I mean, Sixton as well. Fastest so far on track, and again, another one of the drivers to kind of swap outfits this week as well. It's been very, very busy for a lot of these drivers.
Well,
you
mentioned the commentator's curse, Josh.
Yes.
We cursed everyone on this field, because everyone on this field has had a busy week in some shape or form.
Exactly. So we're going to wish them a busier week, so hopefully they can get some rest for the final round, which, if you're not aware, is around Bahrain. Alex's favourite circuit.
Our favourite circuit. I love that track.
Once again, the only circuit in the world to get the FIA International Health and Safety Award.
Crofty's never mentioned that one. We should tweet him and tell him to say that at pre-season testing.
If only I saw him at the weekend at Autosport, I would have told him.
You would have told him.
Could have been a brilliant way to kick off the season.
Would have been. That's the first thing he says when he comes out. Apparently, we should keep our eyes on Ricardo Benzino. I can't pronounce that name.
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was a PlayStation. Right? I've got to wait for Timon's response there.
Yes, there is a bit of a gap between us and you actually hearing our voice.
But we are just, we're as close as possible to you. We're reaching out, touching me,
we're reaching out,
touching you.
Sweet Caroline.
Bum bum bum. The Red Bull's on a lap again. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Right, enough of us being absolutely stupid because we've got a beautiful lap to dissect here. Because the way this Red Bull seems to have handled itself around Sector 1 is fantastic. Just going to run it out here. Not too much to the curb because it can get very, very, sort of twitchy. But running into the curb there on the right, just opening up the apex. Getting a wider angle for the corner as well. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, really absolutely perfect through that first sector, and now down what was a former start-finish straight here, and now through Copse Corner. This is a critical corner, I say, Josh, through the right-hander. And now we're going to go through Maggots and Beckett, some of the best corners in Formula 1, just keeping it nice and flat, and then shifting down, and then shift down twice, but then quickly shifting back up to 6, get DRS wide open.
Didn't we take Maggots and Beckett's from Kota? I think they did.
They did.
Sector 1 in Kota. Nix it.
Good old, what's his name? The track designer.
Tilk.
Helmet. The GOAT.
Hermit Tilk.
He's never made a bad circuit. I can't think of one.
No, absolutely not. As Tax here is going to be trying to get himself slightly further up the board, and he does a fantastic 6.86 to get himself up into P3.
We were both saying that's a good lap, but I don't think we were both expecting it to be that good of a lap. Like that is almost pole position. Well, anywhere else in the world it would be pole position, but here in F3, you got two very fast drivers in front of you, Mr. Sixten Linhart and Mr. Camille, who has once again become a quali merchant in today's qualifying session.
Yeah, I mean, the qualifying pace that some of these drivers have is absolutely outstanding.
It is.
Quite honest, a bit ridiculous. Andre Lopez is one of those who either absolutely smashes it out of the park or seems to somewhat struggle to build up momentum and necessarily get themselves in sort of the position they would want. So
Inconsistency.
Yeah, and I'm a bit worried already looking at that steering wheel, saying 20-something% ERS.
Yeah, and stuck in 8th gear apparently as well.
So we're just going to assume that's a lovely little feature of this year's game. So hopefully...
Wait, what?
There we go. Lovely. Sorted. Back to
That was
being
good.
fixed. Absolutely brilliant. As Lopez gets a tenth quicker in that first sector. And this is where the drivers are going to slowly start push. You know, they've set their banker lap times. They're ready. They're going to be sort of dialing in the car now at this point. Dialing in where their turning points are, braking points, spotting everything out perfectly. And just trying to really maximise the track in, you know, every sort of extremity, every angle, every millimetre of the track width as well. Just trying to get themselves any sort of momentum. Just to carry those high speeds through the apexes, because that's where a lot of the time can be lost around Silverstone, as Andre Lopez goes 2 tenths quicker through that sector. Now it'll be looking on to this final sector, but I do believe there might be a little bit of traffic in the way coming up here to club.
This is traffic paradise, as once Josh's favourite driver Yuki Tsunoda once said. Bit on the curb there. Can Andres Lopez get it to the line? It's going to be a good lap. It's not. Only 30,000 up. I think he lost all that time on that exit curb.
Absolutely.
Just to prove how little there is between the drivers. And Linhart is not improved. Is a tenth slower or 2 tenths slower than his previous best time. What about Camille? Is Camille on a lap here? Looks like going through Maggotts and Beckett's as we speak. As Mr. Dimas goes third fastest. Kai Pearson is a 10th up in the first sector. Rahabs goes third fastest, 27 thousandths up, 27 thousandths behind provisional pole. Camille has invalidated. What about Leo Lund? You didn't like he was on a fast lap when you flipped to him before, Josh, and he's into the pits.
He's on a very fast lap, all the way back into the pit lane, trying to get a little reset there.
Yarne into 5th.
Brilliant stuff there from the Aston Martin representative of beautiful work. As I believe we've got Jay Estee here, who's going to be coming across the line shortly. We know he's capable of a cracking lap time. Let's see what he's able to put on the board. And he's lost out again in that final sector.
Yeah, he can't be finding that time in the final sector. And currently he's in park, so it's no way he's going to find any time in that gear.
Absolutely not.
Matthew Upler is 70 thousandths up in the middle sector. Oh,
Valentino Labella, just having a little slide going through Vale there. Just a little too much there. But still got a lap time on the board. That's exactly what these drivers need. Is everyone's now set a lap time. They're willing to push. They can absolutely go for it. As a Macedonian beast for Yarne. You know what? I can't disagree.
Macedonian beast. That's actually a weird thing, because I've commentated on 2 other Macedonian drivers in the last few days. That is weird.
Were they as quick as Yarne is?
No.
Absolutely not. What a stupid question. But we will have a tax here on the outlap, running slightly different run plan to the rest of the drivers.
Yeah, interestingly. So he's done this twice now as well. Did the first lap out of sync, and he's on the second lap out of sync as well. He won't get time for a third one.
Unless he dives it in the pits at the end of this lap, but it doesn't
Well,
look like it. So, Alex, as the resident sim racer and a professional driver on this game, feel free to take us for a lap here around this beautiful circuit of Britain.
Of course, into turn 1 now, completely flat. You don't want to let off the throttle until you hit a heavy braking zone here. Shift down a couple of gears into third, and then just slowly tap the power on, and then swing it back left. And you want to build up the power a bit of a twitch there on the exit of the corner, but doesn't really affect too much. And now down the back straight, I believe the Wellington straight, if I'm not mistaken. And now into the left-hander. You want to really try and nail that apex, and then bring it back wide. And I think that looks pretty good. But again, the car is all over the place, and surely Tax has got to think that he's going to back out. No, he carries on. He has lost a bit of time, I imagine. Now into Cop's corner. Does he do it flat?
I heard
Yeah,
a
it doesn't
lift.
sound like
I heard a lift.
You heard a little bit of a lift there. And now into Mags and Beck, as I said, one of the best things in Formula 1. But I think he's backed out this lap, Josh.
It looks like it.
I believe he has. If we check his middle sector, yes, a second down. He is definitely backed out. Will he dive into the pits and get any fresh tyres, or will he go again?
Surely. I mean, on the front right, you can see a bit of graining on the tyre already. Some marbles there. So surely diving it back into the pits and trying to get a run plan with the rest of them now. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, just the tyres just didn't look like they were ready to go.
You know what that reminded me of?
What?
When they tried to do one of the audio laps. I can't remember where it was, and it was on Lewis Hamilton. And then he just deliberately went really, really slowly for the entire audio lap.
You knew he had cameras on him.
Brilliant stuff. Speaking about cameras, yours still isn't working, but I just thought I'd share with everyone. Eat a banana. Take a break. You've earned it. Just relax. It's okay. We're here for a bit of F1 racing. Never too serious. Championship wrapped up. Yeah. Just a bit of Silverstone. What could go wrong?
A little bit of Silverstone.
And
nothing's ever gone wrong at Silverstone.
As I say that, the Ferraris come out. The AlphaTauri's out. The Aston Martin's out. Everyone's out.
AlphaTauri still going to be called AlphaTauri by the looks of it next year. It looks like they were going to have a name change, but it might not be coming until 2025 because it's not been confirmed that they're changing names next year. So
I reckon they are. They've built up the hype for it at this point.
Well, it'd be a bit odd if they went into next year and it just still be called AlphaTauri. But maybe, I don't know, because it's named after their clothing brand, isn't it?
Yes. Which, by the way, not sure if anyone in chat's, had experience with the clothing brand. Bit meh. I'm sorry. Right, okay, I'm sorry, MKS. But bananas are great.
Food.
I've got another 2 bananas next to me, so if you start hearing me bunch through the stream of a bit of ASMR banana content...
yeah, you're allowed to eat food, Josh. I eat food. Oh, Oscar Villacampa.
Oh, we can have a mukbang of bananas. Brilliant stuff.
You had one job. Every time.
But no,
you never get through one session without bloody someone getting a 5-place food drop.
But I suppose this will be a great reminder that once we watch all these drivers on their hot laps, and once that last driver, the little Red Bull which could at the back of the field, it's going to be a great time for everyone to go get themselves a drink, go get some popcorn, because we do have the 50% race around here, which,
doesn't disappoint.
We've had it before. A little bit of rain got chucked in the mix as well. Oh. Everything went absolute carnage last time we were here at PSGL for it. So I'll just wait for a second purely pog and MKS. Just give it a moment. Don't go grab the banana just yet. We just wait for a little bit longer.
Should I take us through Demas's lap this time? He surely won't back out of it this one.
Yeah, go on, Ben.
Oh, there we go. So Demas winding up for his final lap of qualifying. Now down the first main straight, also the Hamilton straight. Now into turn 1, flat out through turn 1 there in 8th gear, riding those curbs brilliantly, and now into the braking zone. Keeps it in 4th gear this time. We obviously saw the Rebel go down to 3rd, and then swinging it back into the left-hander, getting the power on a lot smoother than Mr. Tax did. Now down
everyone's
the
getting
Wellington
penalties
straight.
as well.
Well, look at that. Backing up right before the final corner, if you can see it on the mini-map, it looks outrageous. Demas has matched his first sector time basically, and now it's all about trying to gain a little bit of time. He only needs 71,000 on his last lap to take provisional pole. Now down the old pit straight before Cop's corner, everyone have a listen.
Go on.
Is he going to do it flat?
Oh, easy.
Easy flat through that corner, brilliant from Demas there. Now Maggots and Beckett's won't be lifting off the throttle until he's shifted down a bit early there, but I guess that is to gain a bit more speed through the corners. And now DRS wide open. His middle sector is up by 41 thousandths of a second. That's not enough for provisional pole. It is a purple middle sector though. He needs to find it all in the final couple of corners. Now through the right-hander. That's one of the best right-handers in Formula 1. Now putting the brakes on. 3 corners to go. 1 more corner, and now get your power on. Get it flat to the line. Shortest run to the line. Is it provisional pole? It is, but he's taken it by 4 thousandths of a second.
Jarne.
Mr. Jarne is up next. Can Jarne take provisional pole instead? No! Lost it all in the final sector. Who's next on
It's one of the Haas.
It's one of the house. It's the only house of the session, and he takes provisional pole.
Ricardo! Very cheeky.
24-4-3-6.
Leo's next across. He's P6. Gonna keep an eye. Sixton's coming across the line now. He gets pole. Camille, the pole position merchant of Formula 3, snatches pole. So far. Right, we're gonna add a so far on there because we know what the rest of these drivers are like.
Kai goes 6th fastest. The Mercedes of Bogdan goes 4th fastest. What a lap that is from Bogdan. The Red Bulls are coming across the line now. The first Red Bull to cross the line will be JST, stays 13th fastest. Everyone's sort of sticking about.
Rihard spun right there at the end as well.
Oh, that's not going to improve Rihard's lap time. Can Matthew Adler improve his? He goes 9th fastest. It's tax to improve it for provisional pole. Did he do it?
No. P11, P13.
P11.
P11.
Only.
I should trust my eyes a little bit more.
Yes, you should. But that means on pole position once again for the first time, I think, since I want to say Hungary.
Yeah, so it got three or four. No, yeah, it was 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And then since then, Camille not necessarily been quite on
Camille,
top of it, but
pole position.
picking up the pole, very cheeky. Don't mind that one at all.
4th.
We know what Bogdan's capable of. There's a reason why for almost every single one of the polls here at PSGL, he's always there. But as well, special shout out to the PSF1 driver, Riccardo Bonozzi. It's just showing, you know, over on the PlayStation, we stream on a Monday here at PSGL.
You know why he's so fast, Josh?
Bit of gravy. Oh, go on, man.
I think he has a GTO Mega Gaming chair.
Does that make him quicker?
Yeah. Gives you 10/10ths of a second.
A whole second, my word. And it's back on us. Oh, love a little bit of lag there from the camera, but at least mine's working, Alex. What can I say? But no, that was absolutely brilliant. We got Liam, not taking the credit for Benza. I don't know if there's a bit of credit to take. Liam, I'm not saying not to take it, because end of the day, credit's credit where it is, and yeah, I'm tucking into the second banana because we've got a little bit to wait now while the lobby gets reset, don't we? So
we do. Yes.
Go, everyone, go get yourself a drink. Go get yourself a banana, another snack, just something.
I might
to
get
keep
some
you
Pringles.
Pringles. They're too loud, mate. They've got a crunch to them.
They do have a crunch to them. There is. I've got Jaffa cakes.
A tier snack.
A tier snack. Yeah.
But,
that's that. Now that is the question, Josh. Before we talk about Formula 1.
Yes.
Jaffa cakes. Are they a biscuit or a cake?
Can we get chat? Chat, just tell them to shut up. It's called a cake for a reason.
Do you actually know there was a court case in 1991 where the people who made Jaffa cakes legally made them into actually cakes?
What on earth are you on, mate?
It's a genuine true thing. Google it.
You're on something, mate, honestly.
I asked Siri, and Siri said that actually happens. So.
But no, it looks like we've got a bit of an argument in the chat trying to find out who found who. Guys, let's yeah, exactly. I agree with Liam. Jaffa cake. It's called a cake because it's
true.
A cake.
But it's in the biscuit aisle.
Yeah. If I go get some like wag dog food and put it in the biscuit aisle, it doesn't make it a biscuit. It's still dog food.
Yeah, but when they stack the shelves, they put it in the biscuit pile.
That's because they're confused.
Also, if anyone is not from the UK and doesn't know what a Jaffa cake is, I do apologise. I don't know if they're a very British thing. I would say. I think I rambled.
I'm trying to think if I saw a Jaffa cake anywhere other than Britain. I don't think I have.
I don't think I have either. Yeah,
No.
anyone that's not from the UK, please tell us. Have you seen Jaffa cakes in other countries?
Can we have a banana reveal? Absolutely. It's I don't like them when they're like really ripe.
You got to do it,
But
do it
like,
all in one go, apparently.
go on, then, Timon. Just for you, right? Rest of that. Easy work. I'll tell you, if Ferrari get a 1-2, I've got one more banana with me. I'll eat it in one. I'll eat it whole.
If Ferrari get a 1-2,
If Ferrari get a 1-2, this banana whole.
well,
Right
Leo
on stream,
and
right here.
Leo and Camille, if you're listening, that is your job.
What
You must get a
to make me
1-2.
suffer?
Well, remember, if Ferrari got a 1-2 once, you had to get a
A spoonful of coffee. That was
you had to
another
have a
one.
spoonful of
Yeah.
coffee.
I'm just trying to give a bit of, you know, encouragement. Yeah, exactly. People now want a Ferrari 1-2. I'll find a way to make everyone a Ferrari fan again.
Jaffa cakes are goated. Thanks, Purely Pog.
Oh, Jaffa biscuits have a way to go though. But
Jaffa biscuits.
enough of that. We do
I feel like we get
have,
distracted.
we do have potentially a really, really good looking race after that qualifying result. I'm expecting a lot of action in the start of the race, and then depending on the weather, depending on sort of the strategies getting involved, it could be somewhat of a different challenge. And
Yes.
especially having Lillian come all the way from the back of the grid as well, trying to put a challenge on. It'll be interesting to sort of see how high Lillian can get up the field. And I'll tell you what, if I was feeling really, really confident that Lillian wouldn't be able to get a win, I'll eat this banana whole, right? If Lillian wins as well. So there's two parameters there, right?
So if a Ferrari 1-2 happens, then you'll eat the banana hole. But if Lillian also wins from the back of the grid, you'll eat the banana hole.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Sorted.
So if it's a Ferrari 1 and a Lillian 2, you won't eat the banana hole.
No.
Okay.
It's not good enough.
Um,
Other Ferrari needs to step up.
Any engineers in the chat? Do we have any update on the weather?
That could be a good shout.
And please, if it's not going
Because-
to rain, don't tell us, because it won't be as exciting.
Exactly. So now we're just going to have absolutely no idea what it's going to be like. But I can tell you right now, it's already looking a little cloudy.
Yeah, it does say clouds on our screen. Doesn't say rain though, just says cloud. But that could be rain at the end of the race, or maybe
Yes.
midway through it.
It could definitely be starting. I mean, we've got a couple of very eager drivers of Jesto and Matthew Adler. We know what they're like. They just want to get in and race. They're,
I do as well. I there's one of the thing I've always said. The worst thing about sim racing and just racing in general when I did karting, it's the actually before you start doing the race is when you're the most nervous. Because as soon as the helmet's down or the lights go out, you're in concentration mode of you have to race now sort of thing. That's what I've always found.
Oh, okay. We've got some updates in chat. Thank you very much, guys, about the weather. Apparently, it's going to be a snow tornado around Silverstone.
Damn.
Maybe
Tornado.
maybe the Haas car will have a bit of aerodynamics.
Well, don't go that far.
Right. Okay. My bad.
They've got a new team principal, so
Yeah. Cope. Right.
maybe they'll win. Could you imagine if they just go in the first race in real life, they won to it because they don't have Gunther as their team principal? Hulkenberg and Magnussen won't be there at the end of next season.
I don't know. I'm really not
Maybe.
sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the only reason they're there is because of Gunther.
No. I don't know. Every so often I see a little bit of both of them, but I can confirm less of a banana talks, snowing tornadoes, and Gunther Steiner, because we have the lobby reset. And,
Sounds like a great evening.
It sounds like the start of a podcast.
It does.
I'll tell you what. Where's WTF on when you need a podcast? Oh dear. Maybe
Or the other ones.
maybe a PSGL podcast.
Maybe.
No, do not encourage that, please.
No.
That would be
We would- yeah.
traumatic if you didn't. Check
Only if me and Josh did a podcast.
No. I don't want to shave my head and wear sunglasses and grow my beard. No. I don't want to
It's
be
a lot
him.
of work. We did try and do it. That was a legit thing we did try.
No,
and
no,
do.
no, purely Pog. No more banana talks. Bananas are away until Ferrari 1-2 or Lillian end up winning. So, we've got the drivers readying up now. Still cloudy. 26 laps around Silverstone. Alex, who's your pick for the top 3?
For the top 3?
Top 3.
I think... Alright, here we go.
Go on.
Lillian 3rd. Camille 2nd.
Oh.
Bogdan takes the win. It's Bogdan's day.
It's Bogdan's day in the sun.
Which means it won't be, because I've said it's going to happen.
You never know. You never know. I mean, how many times have we cursed Bogdan over this season? It's got to be at least 5 times, right? Maybe.
What about the Haas driver?
Little reverse. So, I reckon
Go for your top 3, come on.
Pearson P1,
Ooh.
JS Day P2, and Lillian P3. That's what I reckon.
Is that more of a hope that you don't have to, eat an entire banana?
No. Maybe just a smidge. But we do have this...
The chat's still on about banana.
I don't blame them. I would be, but delicious. But of course, we do have a 2 DRS zones around the Hamilton Straight, and then it goes on to a Wellington Straight at the end of a lap. So it'll be interesting to sort of see how that's going to work, especially when we start seeing the alternate strategies play, and seeing potential undercuts, overcuts, drivers dipping in and out of the RS.
It's a long pit lane here.
It's going to be interesting. It's a tough one. I mean, pit lane's not an easy one either. Look at Roman Grosjean having a couple issues a couple of years ago here. So
managed to spin in the exit of the pit lane.
I'm not going to say anything because I've done worse coming out the exit of this pit lane. I drove straight. But there's a reason I'm not a driver and I'm just a commentator. And there's a reason why these drivers are taking so long. It's because they're putting on their brilliant setups. But yes, hopefully we're going to get underway in the Banana Grand Prix.
Yeah. And it peels off and away we go.
Purely Pog, honestly. Stop. Behave yourself.
Yeah.
Behave yourself, Purely Pog.
That's not what Crofty says. Oh, but here we go. This is what Crofty does say. We're going to have the 5 red lights here at Silverstone, and we're underway already. And it's a good start from our pole sitter as Camille is going to race into turn 1, followed by Linhart, and then Ricardo, then Bogdan, and then Rahaz follows. Everyone facing the right direction at the start of this race. And down the inside goes Rahaz. He went for a deep dive bomb there, but Bogdan has made it all the way around the outside of all 3 of them, and he's into 3rd place already at the start. Kai Pearson is dropping down to 6th. We've got about 5 cars going 6 wide in the middle sector. Oh, there's one in the background spun. It's Tom Roberts spun right at the back of the grid. Those hard tyres are going to be cold at the start of this race. Leo is up to 8th from God knows where at the back of the grid. But cars are going wheel to wheel. Kai Pearson and Andreas Lopez. These are critical corners in this Grand Prix, Josh.
Oh dear. Right,
oh,
everyone
no.
Single file, please. Behave yourselves.
They all still...
Whoa.
Facing the right direction. There is a Red Bull off wide.
He decided to take an alternate line there, didn't he?
He took the Cops line. He took the Verstappen line. As Leo is really pressurising the back of Andreas Lopez. Those medium tyres and the hard tyres really struggling to warm up. But look at the straight line speed that Andreas Lopez has, surely using a bit of ERS there to pull himself along. There's no way that's just straight line speed. But everyone at the moment facing the right direction with Camille leading, Linhart in 2nd, and Mr. Bogdan running in 3rd. As we're going to see down the inside goes Leo Lund, and he's ahead of Andreas Lopez for 7th place, is he? I believe he is, or they're still wheel to wheel. No, they're still wheel to wheel, and Andreas Lopez has defended that position well.
Very, very close stuff. Brilliant racing so far in this opening lap, but I don't feel like this is going to be the end of it. We have Kai here who's having to sort of manage this battle behind as Leo finds his way through and Andres Lopez there in the background. But it'll be down to Kai now to sort of try and find out the pace and really try and get these medium tyres into the working window to try and keep pace with these soft compound runners, because realistically the soft compound tyre around here, it's something to behold. I'm, you know what, somewhat partially surprised about the drivers picking the hard tyre, as we see Valentino here getting a cheeky little switchback there sorted, and also being able to pick up a move on the Aston Martin of Wilson Hall, and now it looks like he's going for a cheeky little dive to the inside around JS on the soft with the soft compound tyre. Brilliant stuff there so far from Valentino. We'd love to see it.
Yeah,
Cheeky
brilliant
moves.
move. Indeed. And that is what we love to see here in PSGL F3. Everyone giving it a good go. But yeah, as you said, Josh, interesting to see so many guys on a hard tyre, considering the weather conditions. And yeah, as you said, the softs are something to behold around here. Really, they are.
Now, I'm just thinking, because I can see Lillian in the background, already up to P14 on the hard compound tyre. How far can those hard tyres help Lillian climb up this order? Because realistically, I don't think Lillian's going to be able to touch the soft compound tyre runners. I feel like Valentino and Taxa are going to be too far and away.
Oh,
as we have a
safety
retirement
car
on the main straight, and that's Oscar Villacampa.
Now that is a rare occurrence here at F3.
Normally we don't often get safety cars, so potentially this could throw a bit of a spanner in the works, or perhaps a potential lifeline. Some of these medium compound runners who might not be too happy with the way their tyres are looking so far.
Well, and that does change things up a bit. Now, obviously, when the safety car comes out as early as it has on lap 3, does throw a bit of doubt in the driver's mind. He's like, do you go for another set of tyres, get a new one on, change up your strategy a little bit? Maybe the medium runners that are towards the back end of the grid, or maybe the hard runners, like change up strategies again. Maybe if you're Lillian, obviously Lillian made up 14 places. Lillian's clearly got the pace to get through the grid, as we mentioned before. Is there a world where Lillian puts on a set of softs and just tries to charge their way through the field in this first phase?
I don't know, potentially. It could be an interesting one, but I don't feel like Lillian's going to want to risk that much. Obviously came in here earlier, last her first challenge, going to be giving it everything to get through this grid. I'm not sure Lillian would necessarily feel like that would be a great opportunity for them.
No, that seems like a more me strategy.
Yes, it does seem like something that you would have whipped up in a laboratory. As Camille's in.
Well, now that is interesting. Some of the soft runners are in, including Camille, Bogdan, Kai Pearson, Wilson. He has a 5-second time on him speeding in the pit lane. Lillian is into the pits.
Yes, right.
Oh, please, Lillian, do what I think you're gonna do.
Boris is asking, was it a crash on purpose? I doubt it.
I very much doubt that.
I doubt it. There's very strong repercussions for doing such a thing.
Oh, medium's going on. Medium's going on Lillian's car. Is that a pit stop to the end of the race?
No.
No? Because Camille has put on hards, which that is a pit stop to the end of the race.
Right. So I'm thinking, because when we did the commentators' cup round here, I was on pad, and I was able to take the mediums the entire 50%. I got disqualified because I never pit. But that's me driving.
Yeah. And also I told him not to pit.
Yes. You were my engineer. You ruined
Because I was already out of the race at that point. Because I had to avoid an incident.
As Tymans correctly pointed out, hard tyres, they're going to the end. Easy work. Medium on the other hand, maybe. It might be an absolute dog of a car to drive at the end, but it'll be about track position. It'll be George Russell strategy. Just get him in track position and praying for your dear life. But it is deep punch range, but
it will be.
I feel like if some of these drivers are able to pull it off, it might not be worth it in the long haul. But if it works, it's going to be something to write home about.
Or another safety car could come out. You got to take advantage of any VSCs or safety cars that could happen during the race. If a VSC or safety car comes out at the right time for the guys that have pitted, say you're a Bogdan or you're a Lillian that are on these medium tyres for a new chance, they could be very interesting here. The interesting choice is that all the soft runners decided not to pit at the same time. Some of them have split their strategies. Obviously, it makes sense for the likes of Leo, because obviously Leo was behind Camille, so he would have had to double stack. And I suppose Rahards as well, but I suppose Rahards was probably in front, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Is Wilson jumping in to serve his 5-second time penalty? He is. Lillian also jumping
back onto the hard tyres, maybe.
Wilson has a 5-second time penalty for severe collision with Lillian.
Oh. It's all going wrong.
That's what we like to call. That's what we like to call a feature.
Right.
Lillian's putting softs on.
Interesting. Wilson's probably got the right shout here, putting hards on, taking him to the end.
The idea I imagine for Lillian is that was a pit stop to, obviously, the way Formula One works. If you don't know, if you're watching the stream and you have no idea, I'll quickly explain to you. If you're in a dry condition, you must use 2 different compounds. Now Lillian started on the hard tyre, which means they had to use the mediums or the softs. Now they pitted onto the mediums, and also, no, they have a 5-second time penalty. Did they get one as well?
Yeah. It would work both ways, I believe.
So what I assume is going to happen is Lillian is going to pit again and put on the hard tyre. To get rid of that 5-second time penalty.
This just isn't racing. This isn't sim racing at this point. This is like 4D chess with dimension, time travel, whatever it is.
If Lillian catches up to the back of Roberts, the safety car will restart because of how close everyone is. So Lillian will probably have to, if that is Lillian's plan, Lillian will have to back off to not catch. As soon as the safety car hits the second sector, and not every car is caught up to the back of the grid, then the safety car will restart. Will not restart. And it'll go again for another lap.
It'll keep it rolling. So,
but it looks like Lillian is catching up, so the safety car should be in this lap. That's gonna mess up Lillian's strategy.
Potentially, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Now, I don't suppose these 4 lap soft tyres would have too much wear on them, but I can't imagine it would be the most comfortable thing going, as the safety car is in this lap. Do you know what I can imagine being slightly more comfortable than these Pirelli tyres?
Ooh, I think it's a GTO Mega Gaming Chair.
Absolutely is. You get yours. Don't forget to use the secret little checkout code we've got here at PSGL. Read the description if you're not aware of it. It's good savings. But enough of a shameless plug-in for GTO Mega. We've got a race to get back underway. When will Sixton decide to launch it? That's the question.
Final corner.
Surely, it's got to be.
He's gone. He's gone. It might have caught Rahad's bit caught out there. And there we go. We are back underway here on lap 6 of the British Grand Prix. The guys on the hard tyre will have a bit of struggle getting those underway. But at the moment, Linhart has had a great launch here. Rahad's looking to challenge the Aston Martin driver, as Bogdan has already jumped Camille there. Now, that is actually quite a big move, because right now, as it stands, Bogdan is net race leader, because the guys in front of him has not pitted yet.
Yes, exactly. Unfortunately, we can't exactly get rid of a timing tower there, but Rehards is all over the back of Lindhart here, certainly pushing, trying to get the lead of this race, and maybe sort of, you know, organise the pack in a way Rehards would prefer it. Obviously, no longer a race clutch driver, so probably won't be looking out too much for his ex-teammates and trying to, you know, help out Lillian. But certainly after a race win, Slick Rehards hasn't quite been able to grasp a hold of firmly so far in this season here at F3. Had a brilliant season last in F4. Absolutely great job there. But again, not as consistent as they would necessarily like as he pulls to the inside. Easy as you like, before the braking zone. Bish bash bosh. Rehards, P1.
Done. Call it a day. No, of course it's not. It's very, very early on. But we got a battle going on here in the middle part of the lap. But now towards the end of the lap, Yane trying to go around the outside of JST. And, a little bit of sliding action going on there. But they're still wheel to wheel. Got to respect these two drivers. Bit of rubbing and racing, as Mr. Josh likes to call it. Well, they go wheel to wheel into turn 1. That is a dangerous place to do it. But they still come out on top. But it's going to open the door for Lillian to go around the outside. But no, they're just watching this fight. But Lillian's still around the outside. Has made that move happen. The grip on those soft tyres is immense and getting the power down. And Lillian takes advantage of the battle. And now up into P14, sorry, as Timo Selenkovic is trying to go for P11 on Valentino Labella. And are we going to see what we like to see? No, we're not going to see critical corners, not on this occasion.
No, not yet, but I can imagine with these tyre compound differences, we might see 1 or 2 in the coming laps. But we've got the drivers chucking it through Mags and Beckett's, and Sixton right on the back of Rehards again, not willing to let that P1 go, not willing to sit behind and just harvest a bit of ERS. He wants to keep this pressure built on Rehards, tries to find that little opening on the inside, using a little bit of ERS, gets the move done before the braking zone once again, easy as you like, lovely stuff there. Both of them working together almost to try and break the toe from the PSF1 driver, sitting currently in P3, Ricardo doing a great job there in the Haas. Absolutely fantastic work from him so far, and you can already see this train slowly starting to form because the front two keep swapping, but DRS is enabled. This is where the DRS train will come into play. This is where everyone's going to get stuck, no one's going to be able to overtake, and we'll have a beautiful walk to the post office, unless Leo Lund goes for an absolute outrageous dive bomb like he just did there. We saw Rehards do one earlier on. Maybe took a bit of inspiration from it. Great stuff.
I gotta say, Bogdan's got an insane grip here. He's on 4-lap-old medium tyres compared to 7-lap-old softs, but he is absolutely flying. He's going to get another move here, and he's now up into 4th place after setting the fastest lap a few laps ago. Bogdan's on the hunt.
I apologise personally to the entire PlayStation community and their representative of Ricardo in this race. I praised him. He's lost 2 positions since then.
Oh no.
That's on me. As
Bogdan.
What time is it? It's critical
These
corners time.
Corners.
Oh, he's brilliant stuff. Down the inside there, showing those medium tyres are in their operating window right now, and it's beautiful to see. Basically, schooling some of these soft tyre runners with some audacious moves you wouldn't necessarily find anywhere else other than here at PSGL. I sure hope everyone's got a bottle of water and a banana to snack on for this race, because it looks like the action's not going to be stopping at all, as we've got Andre Lopez here under a bit of pressure. Tima's already got past, and Lillian's made the move as well there. Looking just to climb back up into the points here is Lillian. Is looking to maybe go for a move to the inside. Very late on the brakes. Almost end up chipping off a front wing there, but sits back behind. Doesn't look like any front wing damage has been done there. So, Lillian here. Tima's Lenkovic in front. This will be a true test of pace here for Tima in the Mercedes in front. How long is he going to be able to keep Lillian behind?
I don't imagine very long, but obviously Zelenkovic is no slouch at all. They're all here for a reason, because they're all ridiculously fast. As we see a dive up the inside there from one of the Haas cars, as also Bogdan has taken 2nd place ahead of Linhart. Bogdan absolutely flying here in Silverstone. The Silver Arrows, or the not the Silver Arrows at the moment, but the Mercedes, of course, have done very well around here in the past. Is Bogdan on for his first victory here in F3, as we have a yellow flag? There's 2 cars come together, and I think it's the 2 Williams drivers have come to blows. Valentino and Matthew Adler. That is obviously not going to be good for Williams, but oh my goodness, Bogdan is flying. Look at how much grip he's got.
The faith they have in other drivers. If I did this with anyone, I would either end up rear-ending them or end up brake-checking them. But it doesn't look like these drivers care too much. They respect one another to such a great length. They're able to race this close together week in, week out. And that'll be Bogdan climbing himself up there into P1. But Rehards still has a bit of grip to fight on those soft tyres. So I wouldn't write the check or necessarily count the chickens before they've hatched. Bogdan's got the pace at the minute, but we know those medium tyres will end up phasing away eventually. But it doesn't look like Bogdan's got a single care in the world, does it? Look at that, 7 attempts already.
7 He's got to fly now. If he's going to make this strategy work, I imagine what he's going to do is, if he can't get them to the end, he will have to push as hard as he can and be forced to make another pit stop. But if he's got this kind of pace, it won't really matter, will it?
No, absolutely not. And Rehards here will be looking. He's got the DRS, thankfully. That'll help him defend off from Sixton down this Hamilton straight. Not necessarily an overtaking opportunity at the end of this because of a lack of a braking zone, as we see Lillian fighting there with Tom Roberts, trying to get back up there. But Tom Roberts is going to get the inside. Is he going to be able to squeeze Lillian out here around the outside? Just about. Just about. Kept it very fair, very square, lovely to see.
I wonder if Lillian does have a bit of wing damage as critical corners. Jane and Lillian go wheel to wheel into Cops corner as JST will go into Magnus and Beckett's wheel to wheel with the Aston Martin, and he's made it stick.
Oh
goodness me. That is how you do that kind of race. And Bogdan's still in the lead there, still not going to get overtaken by DRS, but it hasn't really dropped Rehards as yet. But I suppose it's going to be very difficult to drop Rehards. Well, you're going to drop him if he pulls into the pits. That's how you drop him. But just slowing down in time then, not to grab yourself a 5-second time penalty. Leo stays out.
And this is exactly what I was on about. This is the sort of strategic dynamic here. Bogdan isn't giving the DRS anymore to the drivers behind. This is where he can run off. This is where he can continue his pace and sort of manufacture the race he wants to have. While Leo, on the other hand, could potentially be in a little bit of trouble here without having the DRS to kind of pull him along in that train. So this will be, you know, the best opportunity for the likes of Ricardo, Tax, Dimash, to really try and push it forward and sort of keep pace and just make sure that they're keeping Bogdan honest and as well losing as little time as possible to the cars which have gone for this undercut.
Yeah, now this is that saved car at the start changed the race really because it's given people opportunities to try something different, and that's what we love to see here in PS. We don't like everyone to just go medium hard. That's boring, Josh. We don't want to see that, do we? We want to see everyone on a different set of tyre compounds with different wear to really check some pace. But if you're a Hards and Linhart, are you working together here?
Yes, by far, 100%.
You've got to be working together because if you start battling each other, you're not going to gain any time.
Exactly. You're going to have to, put whatever differences aside you've got on track and understand that, you got to help each other sometimes. You got to help, those closest to you on track, rivals, just to try and get everything possible. As we see a big pile of smoke, which I believe what he was gasping at there for locking up going into the pits.
Look, I was coming off Camille's visor. That's how much smoke was coming out of it. But this is the interesting thing. Mr. Dimas, second place, 11-lap-old medium tyres. He's the only medium runner yet to pit in this race from the guys who started on the medium tyres. Now, behind him is Camille on 8-lap-old hards, the same as Mr. Bogdan on the medium tyres. I don't know how to call this one. Because right now, the guys in front have track position. Like you said, George Russell tends to do that strategy because he doesn't have the pace to catch up people. And everyone else has got to catch Bogdan and Camille and obviously all the other cars. Zelenkovic and Lillian will have to pit again. They're not going to get those softs to the end of the Grand Prix.
No, thank you very much, Will Buxton, for that one. Looking here. Lap 7, that's when Rehards and Sixton came in. But it looks like Lillian still has a little bit of extra grip in comparison to Andres Lopez in front on the hard compounded tyre. So, Lillian, we know we're good at managing the tyres. We saw it around Vegas as well. Brilliant at being able to manage the wear on the tyres. But are they falling into the trap here where they believe the soft tyres are still in a great working window because the cars around them are also on the aging tyres and aren't necessarily in the best, sort of predicament. It's a very easy trap to fall into because you see the car in front and you can still see you catching them, but you're all losing delta time to the likes of Rehard and Sixton, who are just about coming through that final sector now.
It's what I like to call the Deathling trap on the soft tyres.
Oh yeah, it's because you always do it. Doesn't matter how many times I've got to try and tell you.
I started on the hards the other day.
Oh dear.
In a race. I got where was I racing? I can't remember.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, Australia.
Oh dear.
I went hard, medium.
The more time I spend with you in this commentary booth, the more I wonder about your sanity.
It was not a good race. Actually, it was. I finished 5th, but it's all right.
But
Lillian wants to win, not 5th.
No, Lillian's absolutely after this one. Already back up to a 10th, but again, I will just keep in mind that the drivers of Rehard, Sixton, Leo, Ricardo Barozzi, Taxi, and Matthew Adler are all going to the end on their medium tyres. Matthew maybe not, maybe not be too much of a challenge unless a safety car comes out here, but
Bogdan's still flying, by the way. He's 4 seconds up the road, and I know that's going to be elevated because of Mr. Dimas is on 12-lap-old mediums, and he's basically what we like to call the trolley train right now. In second place, but it's still impressive pace from Bogdan.
Yeah, of course. There's a reason Bogdan's got a big fan group behind him quite often here in the F3 chat. It's because of performances like this. You understand why. Absolutely brilliant stuff. As Sixton overtakes Rehards there for the net race lead before all the pit stops end up taking place here. But we can already see Camille under a little bit more pressure than maybe they would have necessarily liked from Zelenkovic in front. If you look at how close they are on track. It's all going to unwind, and I feel like it won't be a slow unravel. It's going to be like dropping a ball of yarn down the stairs for a cat to play with. It's just going to create a massive mess when it ends up getting to that horrible situation where there's no more yarn to play with.
Or a nuclear explosion.
Right, but one of them was very wholesome, the other one was a war crime. F3, ladies and gentlemen.
What is the gap between Bogdan
I'll tell you
and
what.
Rahad?
Find
It is
out for you.
25 seconds.
25 seconds. If you
What's
can't
the pit
tell,
stop around here?
I believe it's 26. It's a tough one. But then Bogdan's going to have that fresher tyre at the end.
He can't. If he's going to pit, he's got to do it now. Because
Yes.
if he pits too late, he won't have enough time to catch up. But if he pits too early, then he's just going to lose the advantage anyway. The point is,
Stays
he's
out.
going to get undercut anyway, no matter who pits. Lillian going for it now. Does
Good
Bogdan
choice.
think he can win this race by staying where he is? Because I don't know if they can. Well, they're going to have a chance to catch him, but they've got to overtake a bunch of cars that also are not going to pit. I know they're going to be on lower tyre wear, but we've got 10 laps to go when Bogdan next crosses the line. 10 laps, 25 seconds.
I'm not sure. Bogdan might be leaving it a little late. Perhaps a little later than most would like.
I don't think he's going to pit again.
Nah, he's got to. He's got to, surely.
What does the engineers say? Is it possible?
Couch engineers at home. Those of you who may or may not have any experience, or may have way too much experience, maybe like Alex, maybe like myself, and you don't touch the grass. Let us know what you think. What should Bogdan do at this point in the race? 5.4 in the lead of the race.
Gap now.
But cars behind are catching. Vulnerable to Sixton, Rehards, Leo, Ricardo. What do you do?
He will fall behind that gap, that pack, if he pits now.
Is the 1 lap delta difference between the tyre compounds of Lillian and Bogdan going to be enough for him, though? That's what I'm worried about. I'm not sure, and he stays out.
FedEx says he should not box, he should just go for it. As we see Tom Roberts going wheel to wheel with Andreas Lopez as the Venkovic is into the pits. Well, again, he had to. He's on the softer compounded tyres.
Yeah.
What is the gap now between the leaders and Bogdan? It's now 23 seconds.
But it's not been a massive drop-off. Small.
Yeah.
Very small, but
Very
how
small
long
drop-off.
will those...
DMAS is keeping Bogdan in this race at the moment in terms of not having to be pressurised by Camille.
Absolutely. FedEx is saying Bogdan won't pit.
I don't think he will. I think he's committed to staying out now. The race is in his hands because he's leading it.
Yes.
He doesn't need to box to not be in control of the Grand Prix anymore. If he boxes, he loses that control. Because right now it's down to Rahad, Linhart, and Leo to win this Grand Prix. It's not down to Bogdan to get past them and win it himself. He's winning right now, and he'll win it if he stays where he is. If he boxes, then it's anyone's game.
Yeah, and he's still pulling away from DMAS as well. It all depends how quickly can these drivers catch up, and how quickly can they sort of sieve their way through the field as we see Tom Roberts getting a move done on Kai Pearson there.
Yeah.
Still
If
showing
a safety car
that...
comes out, it changes the race.
Yeah, I mean, Tom's still showing that those 12...
Oh, Bogdan's in!
Bold.
Wow.
Still, I mean, Tom Roberts was an example there, showing that those 12 lap old medium tyres still had a bit of pace on him, still doing numbers on the hard tyre runners.
Well,
Interesting.
now that is surprising. Bogdan going onto the soft tyre. So Valentino Labella will take 6th place, and then where is this pack? Where is he going to come out? He's going to come out behind the pack.
Quite
He's going to come out behind the pack, and he's going to be. Here we go. 12th place, and between himself and that group, about 4 seconds. 4.5, 5 seconds.
Interesting. Something else to keep in mind as well, because all these drivers have decided to come into the pits, Lillian will now also be able to get the DRS off of them, as long as he's able to stay within a second of these fresh soft compound tyre runners.
So now the question is, does Bogdan have the pace to get to the hard tyre runners?
This is interesting. We've almost got... This almost feels like a multi-class race now, doesn't it?
It does, really.
We've got the hard tyres, we've got the medium tyres, we've got the soft tyres here, all trying to gun it. to the end.
Oh, and JST and Kai Pearson are battling for the race lead. This could come down to a final lap showdown between the cars. Bogdan, he's 3.8 seconds now behind. He's catching the cars in front of him. He has got pace in these soft tyres. Rohard and Sixton still battling it out for position. This really could be last lap. I don't think this is over for Bogdan yet. He may have made the correct decision. This is again why we are in the com box and not race engineers. He's clearly been told this is the most optimal strategy. And at the moment, it looks like it's working for him as we see Wilson and Andres Lopez trying to battle it out for 5th and 4th place respectively. Zelenkovic has a 27.3. He's been on those soft tyres a lap longer than Bogdan has. Let's see how much time Bogdan gains on these medium runners in front of him.
Absolutely. It'll be so interesting to see as we see Lillian also on the timing tree on your left-hand side has fell out of DRS range from Alexander Dimash. So, that just goes to show these soft tyres, they are the real deal. You've been warned. It's very, very similar to what it was like last year around Silverstone as well. Hard compound tyres, you will feel the pain. Medium tyre compounds, you'll feel a little bit of pain, but those soft compound tyres are almost in a league of their own.
They really are. They genuinely really are. But look, he's already... If we go on to Bogdan quickly, I know we've got a battle for the lead going on between JST and Think. He is right there. You can see them. That is the medium runners that were chasing him. He has caught them before they've even gotten near the hard runners.
Yeah, and these hard compound tyre runners, they're just swapping positions. I don't think they're actually racing each other. They're trying to pace themselves. They don't need to battle. They've just got to take their time. They've got Valentino in P6 as kind of like a little buffer for a bit of potential defense when Rehard, Sixton, and Leo inevitably end up catching up to them. I'm not sure.
And the medium runners are doing more battling. That means Bogdan is there or thereabouts. He's almost in DRS. He will set fastest lap, I imagine. He doesn't set fastest lap. He might be saving a bit of tyres, proving, again, how much pace he does have. There is 7 to go.
Alex, I don't want to swap to him. Oh,
Why?
he's right there.
He's right there.
He's on the back of them already.
7 to go. He is right on the back of these medium tyre runners. He can't be playing their game. He can't be using them to go get the others. He's got to get past them and use his own pure pace to get to the hard runners. There's a chance of still a podium finish here. I don't know if the win's on the table. There's still a chance of a podium finish, but he's going to need to literally light a fire under his arse.
Well, if there's one place you don't want to fire, it's there, and certainly not in one of these Mercedes cockpits. Do you know where else you wouldn't want to fire? On a GTM Mega Gaming chair.
You wouldn't, because they're already fire.
You stole the words out my mouth. But you can already see Magnus and Beckett's. It's a joke. It's just a joke.
He's got to do it. Oh. Well, this is position 1.
He's got 50% ERS as well.
He's not using it.
Does he feel like he's going to get him into the break-in?
Yes,
no,
easily.
He will get him into the break-in. As we've still got this titanic battle up here at the front between Sixton, Leo and Rehards. All of them still squabbling.
This is costing them.
Sixton
what's happened?
Gets through there.
Yellow flag.
I dread to think Bogdan's through on that as well.
Oh, it's Rehards. Rehards is down to 12th.
Contact between the 3 of them then.
Well, that's what happens when you go 3 wide. It might have cost Bogdan a bit of time, but not a huge amount. So, once he's pulled past Leo and Sixton, he's got 6 seconds to Valentino, and then another 4.5 seconds to Wilson.
It's a tall order, only in 6 laps as well.
And those every lap he does, those softs are getting worse and worse. But look how much better he's catching. He will catch those hard runners quickly. In clean air, he should get them. But can he get them?
Should and can, you know.
He's got to get both these cars down the hangar straight. This is what he's got to do now. It's got to be a double overtake down the hangar straight on this lap, because then he's got 6 laps of pushing, and he knows it exactly. You can see how much he's closing up. He's going to use all his ERS here, or a lot of it, to get the exit he needs. He's got to go for it now, and he's going to go to the inside. It's going to be a 3-wide moment, but Leo cannot challenge that. Down into 7th. Now the race is on, and now the charge is on. He's got 5 seconds to the next car, then 4.5 to the car after. The game is afoot ladies and gentlemen, with 5 laps to go.
So, chat. Normally, I'd end up setting up a poll. We can decide who's going to be the winner. But we've only got 4 options for a poll. So, let us know. Type in chat who you think is going to walk away on the top step of the podium. Because at this point, I feel like it's too close to call. You've got the hard tyre runners, which are all fighting one another. All of them same sort of lap time. Every lap, it's interesting. You know, the DRS doesn't necessarily seem to be pulling them along too much.
Can you see laps, the last laps? I don't know if that's an option to see what our last laps were of the cars.
Unless you got the telemetry data, you can't see the last laps. But let's just say Bogdan's gonna have to pull a worldie out in order to catch up to these lot.
He's gonna get caught by Leo if he's not careful as well. Leo's now got DRS on him.
Potentially be pulling Leo along into this fight as well, which is exactly what Leo and Sixton would want. Will saying Hards will get to 80% upwards of it. Puncher territory.
Puncher territory. Well, Bogdan was in the background. You saw him come out of the corner, just going down the hangar straight. Is Leo going to challenge Bogdan? No, not into the right-hander, he won't.
No, it's not worth it. It's not worth risking. This one's going to be a close one.
It really is. 18 laps for the hard runners. The only one who hasn't got 18 laps is Wilson, who's got 17 laps.
And a penalty. We've got 2 penalties as well here.
Well, that's going to help Bogdan if he catches them, because Andreas Lopez is ahead of Wilson Hall. Oh, are they? They're still battling it out. They're really battling it out here, but they are not. It's still anyone's game.
It's not quite there, but Wilson's got the run here. Surely, thank you very much, Yorick, there for the super fans. Wilson look to the outside there. A little rub in his race and a little bump and grind. But you're going to have to get to another dance floor tonight, Wilson Hall. Andres Lopez secures that P4.
This is all helping Bogdan.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, with these critical corners, Josh,
no. No. Oh, okay. Okay.
Not on this occasion. Bogdan is closing, but not as fast as he originally was. Those soft tyres could already be on the downward slope.
They've hit the cliff, surely, at this point. As we see a slight error there, I believe, from JSD going through Maggots and Beckett's, which has allowed Kai Pearson to get all over the back of him. But JSD, with a little bit of that ERS reserve, that's how he's able to sort of keep the pace. It's so close, but JSA knows he can't make the move yet on Camille, otherwise he's going to be put in a vulnerable position when it ends up getting to the dying embers of his race. But he can't stay in second forever because Kai is going to keep mounting that pressure further and further on. As we see Bogdan now within 2 seconds. Valentino as well has done a tremendous job catching back up to P5 for Wilson. How much of these cars willing to fight one another?
What are they willing to risk here? And it proves this is the championship was over in the last race, and these guys are still giving you guys what a hell of a race for entertainment. After all that's happened this week, we are still getting a fantastic race here in PSGL F3. This is what sim racing is all about. And Bogdan, 2.1 seconds between himself and Valentino, still another 4 seconds behind the 5 in front with 3 laps to go.
It's getting close.
19 laps on hards. They must be screaming in pain.
This is what you want. Leave everything from, you know, social media. Just leave it behind. Get in, get racing, and get right up to the back of JSD's Red Bull here. Kai, with that time penalty, he's going to be sizing up a run here on him. But once again, JSD's just going to have that little bit of ERS to burst down the straight, just to keep him in P2 for the time being. But he's got to be careful. He can't use it all to defend P2. He's got to try and mount an offensive on Camille. But is it going to be too little too late? Is he going to have enough ERS in the tank? Oh, it's interesting. It's unfolding.
It's really unfolding. This race is really starting to hit its boiling point. Bogdan, 1.1 seconds now between himself and Valentino. There he is.
Leo and Sixton also being pulled along in that as well, Alex.
He's got no battery left, Valentino. I just saw that light flashing on his rear.
Yeah, we can see it. If a battery light flashes, you're below 10% ERS. You're going to be a sitting duck on the straight. Bogdan.
If Bogdan wins this, this is one of the best drives I've seen here in PSGL. But he's still got a long way to go before he can win this. But you know, on track. They're so close. They're within touching distance of each other. As Matthew Adler retires in the pits, that won't cause a safety car. It won't even
Oh,
cause a safety. There's a few laps to go. Oh, Kai, that is not a place to try and make an overtake, my friend. Up the inside of that
very
corner.
bold. Very, very
Bogdan is
bold.
Bogdan's right behind Valentino here. He can't be held up for him long. Are we going to see a critical corners moment
No.
for Bogdan? No, he's too far back on this occasion. He will get DRS down the main straight. 2 laps to go. As Andres Lopez is in front, he's in 3rd place. He's ahead of Kai.
Believe we've got a little bit of lag there, which sent Kai backwards, but Kai is going to be all over the back of us now, surely.
There's Bogdan. Bogdan is going for the move. Bogdan is into 6th. He is in the background with 2 laps to
You
go.
saw him, Leon Lund as well, making a move up into P7. This is all coming to a boil as we've got Matthew Adler's Williams coming back out onto the circuit. Hopefully it won't cause the yellow flag to stop an overtake like we saw around Mexico, I believe.
Spain. It was around Spain.
My bad.
They speak the same language, but
almost there. Almost there. Linguistically
almost there.
similar.
2.8. That gap's coming down rapidly fast.
Oh.
And it's going to come down even faster because everyone in front is going to start smashing it out for the lead.
2.6, 2.5.
Oh my god, those tyres
Grab
have hit the
your
cliff.
popcorn. Those hard tyres are in dire straits right now.
2.7. The only place he's losing is down the straight because he doesn't have DRS compared to the other drivers.
Oh, it's all boiling up. It's boiling up nice. You got to think how much time is he going to be able to gain through Maggots and Beckett's as well.
Could be, as I said, I mentioned a few laps ago, could be a last lap battle it out. Through Copse Corner, does he gain a lot of time? He gains about 0.2 of a second through Copse Corner. And now through Maggots and Beckett's, let's watch that time go down. And it's going to go down surely a lot. 2.5, 2.4 down, but I don't know if it's closing enough, Josh.
It might not be enough, but one thing for certain, JSA and Andre Lopez are aware that they are potentially fighting for a race win against Camille here. They had a little dart to the inside. They had a little dummy. They know. They've been in this position before. They understand what it takes to win a race here at PSGL. They understand the technical, the mentality they've got to have. They've saved up the ERS. They're looking now to absolutely dump the battery. But Camille has been in this situation before here, this season as well. Understanding, saving the battery, just waiting, just to start dumping it on the exit of corners, just to slowly start building up a little bit of a buffer for the DRS zones. But is it going to be enough? And it looks like they've done a fantastic job for this Hamilton Straight DRS zone as JSA is 6 tenths behind now.
Camille, not yet picked up a victory this season. Bogdan has now fallen behind Leo Lund. That is Bogdan's charge over. He did everything he could to try and win this Grand Prix, and it just wasn't enough. Was it better to stay out? Maybe. We won't know now. That is all in the past. We're looking at the final lap of this Grand Prix, and who will win? Will it be JST or will it be Camille? Camille sitting on probably a lot of battery inside that car, but those tyres surely must be screaming in pain at this point. They must be. They must absolutely want to be off that car. But I think he might have just done enough to keep the Red Bull behind. There's going to be dumping of batteries. Camille is out of battery. Really used all of it down the main straight. Bogdan's back in front for 6th place. But for Camille, is it finally 4th times lucky here in PSGL F3? Because he will convert pole position to victory here in Silverstone. Camille wins the British Grand Prix. JST finishes in 2nd. Andreas Lopez in 3rd. Bogdan will get 4th due to time penalties. Leo Lund in 5th. Kai Pearson in 6th. Then Sixton, Wilson, Valentino, and Tax rounds out your top 10.
Oh,
What a race.
Bad. Silverstone. Just Silverstone. What else can you say about it? Fantastic race. I mean, front to back, all over the place. Great racing, great driving. Safety car may have changed the race entirely. But my word, that was absolutely phenomenal to watch.
Absolutely phenomenal indeed. And finally, the man from Poland has picked up his first victory here this season. It's taken a while, but he did it. He did it.
It could have come so much sooner. in the season, but Camille will at least be able to celebrate a win here in F3 this season. A well-deserved win as well. I mean, from start to finish, everything's just been on point.
It really has. It really has. But yeah, finally, pole position to Vic JST, 14th to 2nd. Congratulations, what a race that is. Andreas Lopez in 3rd. Bogdan, 4th to 4th. You've got to take your hats off to Bogdan. He was so rapid today. Leo in 5th. Kai in 6th. Sixton in 7th. Wilson in 8th. Valentino in 9th. And Tax rounds out your top 10, followed by Slavenkovic, Ricardo, Lillian, Robert, Rahaz, Dimas, Yane, Matthew Adler, and Oscar Villapancos, both DNFs in this Grand Prix. But Josh,
Yes.
you know what I think?
What do you think? I can't read your mind, Alex. What do you want?
I think the best thing to do now, while we grab some people for interviews, is to sit back, relax in a GT Omega gaming chair.
That I can't think. My brain after that race has just turned into mush.
Dimash, we do have Mr. Camille ready.
Yes, absolutely. Bring him in. Oh, fantastic. Camille, how are you doing, my friend? Congratulations on your win. Well deserved. Well earned. It's been a long time coming, but you finally get to do it. Call yourself a free race winner, mate. How do you feel?
Finally, I got a win. It's been a whole season. I've been trying to win at least one race, which I haven't done yet. But yeah, it feels amazing to finally win the race in a very good style. I think the strategy really worked well, especially with the tire saving. I know the other guys were in the puncture zones. I was not even in the puncture zone, so yeah, tire saving was great, and the pace was great, I think, as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant stuff all over, mate. I mean, talk us through those last couple of laps on those tyres. How are they feeling?
Yeah, pretty alright, actually.
Pretty alright.
Yeah, especially that I knew that the guys behind me have worse tires, so I didn't have to push that much.
Yes.
I could, yeah.
Yeah, you sort of control the pace then, yeah?
Yeah, it was great that I was leading because I could control the pace. And then when Jay overtook me, and he set the pace, but yeah, it was actually quite good for the tire saving as well.
Lovely stuff. And like towards the midpoint of a race, it kind of sort of ordered itself out to be a multi-class race because you had you guys on the hard tyres, you had a mid-pack on the mediums, and then you had the soft tyre runners right at the back of the field as well. At any point were you somewhat worried that maybe, you know, the packs were going to fight too much and slowly end up closing on one another?
No, I didn't really think about the other guys because the pit loss on this track is like 30 seconds, so I didn't even think that anyone could catch us.
Oh, okay. Alright, no worries. Oh, I mean, how's it feel? It's been a long time coming for you, this race win, surely. Pressure off your shoulders a bit?
Yeah, maybe, but you know, it's the second last race of the season, so there's not much pressure left, but yeah. It's a great feeling, especially after having like 4 poles this season, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
free
no win.
on the bounce, this one as well. But you've done it. Winner. It's nice to see a Ferrari on the top step, as much as Alex might dislike it.
Well, it's nice, Josh, for you to see a Ferrari convert a pole position to a victory.
Oh, come off it.
But yeah, congratulations, Camille. That was a fantastic drive. Just one question from me. Were you surprised that Bogdan pulled it into the pits? Did you think he was going to stay out? Because we thought he might just stick it out to the end, but considering you guys said you had okay tyre where he might have been able to do the same.
No, no, the hards barely made it. I mean, I wasn't in the puncture zone, but I was right in front it, and yeah, the mediums just wouldn't make it.
All right, that's good to know. He did try. He was almost there, but he just ran out of time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, Camille, and hopefully we end up getting to talk to you around next week. For Bahrain, how are your feelings on Bahrain?
Yeah, good. I've done a lot of practice around there for the esports. I hope it's gonna convert in the race.
Yes, fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll be able to get to talk to you then as well. But congratulations on a win once again, and yeah, stellar job, mate. Well done.
Thank you, and I hope to see you next week.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
So, mate,
Lovely bloke, honestly.
great guy, top lad.
He deserved it as well. So far,
did.
He's just had, you know, the rough scrub of the luck as well.
Yeah, it's just been unlucky for him this year. But you know, there's always next year. That's what they say in Formula One. As Josh will always say,
Yes.
it's our year.
So, last race of the season. Yep, moving swiftly on from that, and I'm going to ignore MKS in the chat on purpose there, trying to hurt my feelings. It's
Thanks,
fine.
MKS.
No, we don't accept Ferrari bullying here. We struggle with ourselves enough. We've got Bahrain.
It's your year, right?
It's our year. Next year. We got
Next year.
Bahrain. Next.
Yep.
Neither of us like the circuit.
No, if we're
No.
being brutally honest, we don't like it. Not necessarily because it's a bad circuit. I actually quite like racing the circuit itself, but just watching it, you don't really. I can't really remember any like standout good Bahrain race. Like maybe 2014, but it's only because of the Mercedes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one, Bahrain, isn't it? Especially
obviously-
on the esports as well.
Yeah,
You
esports
know,
never really had a good race.
There's been a couple opportunities for overtakes, late dive bombs down the inside as well, but you know, some of those a little risky, day late, dollar short potentially. I don't know. It's a circuit which could potentially, you know, throw up some problems for some of the drivers, but they've got an entire week to prepare, and you lovely people watching this still, you've got an entire array of streams to go and join and hop into at the minute. We've got the F2 and the F4 going on at the minute here at PSGL for some good quality racing. So, if you feel like you want a little bit more Silver Zone action, maybe we've inspired you as well to go and give the game a little go, sort of see how quick you are in comparison to these drivers. Quick warning, they're quick. They're very, very quick. But
Not as quick as me.
no. Because you put them in F2 cars and you were in an F1 car when you compared lap times, Alex.
Well, that's fair.
No, it's not. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we can get Alex a working webcam soon. I'll start a GoFundMe page on Twitter.
Yeah, I need to GoFundMe for webcam.
But until next week, we'll see you then. See ya.
Yeah.